The Fully Geeked.
Yes. What's happening, man? Welcome to
What's good, man? What's good?
episode 66 of the Fully Geek Pod.
6 without the other 6.
Yeah. No, because we don't done bun them thing there.
Yeah,
It's all a bit mad. I know you're looking at the screen and thinking, rah, it's just the three sexy man then. Why go on for the others?
Can I say?
I don't know.
Can I say?
I don't know, bro.
I've been trying to think of a name for free, but I just can't do it.
3 amigos, 3 musketeers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think we are actually probably the ones that have missed the fewest episodes.
Yeah, 100%. I would have missed one.
True, though.
I think Merv, you only missed one as well, innit?
Yeah. Let's stick with one. Yeah.
And I ain't missed none. So you know how it goes.
Bruv, it's like they're dropping like flies, bruv.
Dropping
like flies.
They are dropping like COVID victims.
They need to tell us what I want. You get me, car? You get me? It's real out here. It's a business to run in here.
I'm saying,
so fans, anyway, you got us fans. Don't worry about it. You get me?
Yeah.
We'll hold the front.
All right, well, people. Bruv, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a bit of a depressing week. Like COVID related, I kind of don't ever really want to talk about COVID because I just think it's just drummed into us. But there are certain things going on. The COVID rate infections have gone up. Last week we spoke about the different tiers, and London has now gone into tier 2. That happened Saturday midnight. Went into tier 2, and Greater Manchester has today, I think maybe tomorrow morning, or Friday, one of them that is happening soon, is going into tier 3. And there was a bit of a weird one because the government wanted Manchester to go into tier 3. And the Manchester government was saying, well, look, we want some P before we can accept us going into that. So originally they wanted £90 million. Boris was like, no. Then they were like, all right, cool. What about 70 million? It was like, nah. Then they said, all right, here what, joke thing. Let's go 65 million. Boris and them said, all right, you know what? We'll give you 60 million. Then apparently they couldn't agree with it. So Boris said, let's walk away from negotiations. So apparently they're getting nothing. I don't understand it. They're moving like, this reminds me of the Ashley Cole football transfer a couple of years ago where he went Chelsea over $5,000 a week. Bro, it's blowing my mind. I don't know what's happening.
Years ago, that was over 10 years ago, brother. But yeah,
don't show my age. Yeah. It's a little while though, isn't it?
Even I knew that, man.
No, but why did they want money? I don't get it.
No, I think what they're saying is they're going to need money to support businesses. Like, because if they're going to go into lockdown, businesses will potentially go bust and all the rest of it. So they want money to kind of help certain organizations, businesses, if they need to apply for some form of funding. And I don't know.
So why is Trump not on it? Like, why is he not on it?
Trump, he's in America. He doesn't care about this stuff.
Boris, man, like Boris, my bad peeps. Yeah.
No, they were just saying that they were reluctant. Like I said, ministers were reluctant to set a precedent of giving one region more proportionately than another, especially because ongoing talks with several other parts of the country could also face tougher restrictions. So basically, that means that. So if they're saying, "Rah, you gave Manchester this P," then I don't know, Newcastle might say, "We want this P," and then the government say, "We're not a bank." I'm assuming.
It's true because then there would just be more depth.
Yeah.
The economy's already in shits, so it's like the more you because think about it, the whole country will probably go down in lockdown very, very soon. I reckon. It's looking that way. Yeah,
it's a weird one because I just like, obviously I know that you need money and stuff in it, but it was just like a weird thing. Like it's just like, because then the government started accusing Mr. Burnham of saying, look, you are putting people's lives at risk for money. And I was like, ain't that what the government's doing anyway? Yeah, so
but you know what everyone's forgetting about? Brexit.
What's that?
Oh no!
Wait, what is that anyway?
That's in the background, boy. That's because Boris ain't got to deal with that either.
Thank you, and that's big things, you know. Because if you go to Brexit with no deal, bro, that's a whole nother news. That's a whole nother like it could get messy for us,
bro.
Do you know what I mean?
We are really going to see what being on an island is like, you know.
Trust me.
We are going to see what being on an island is like. So yeah, I don't know. It's absolute carnage, as they say. It's a bit of a shitstorm right now because he's not budging on certain things with Brexit.
Yeah, he's saying that he's like, you know what, we're prepared for a hard Brexit, and that's it. I'm like, try and negotiate. Like, this is not a small thing, right? Like, this is big things. Like, if you strike a no deal, trading with Europe is going to be it's going to be difficult. Even going on holiday, like as we just freely do it, it's going to change. You know what I mean?
And I think that's kind of why he's like trying to be bridges with Trump and them thing there. Do you get me? Because maybe he feels like the Americans are going to help him out.
Trump's not lasting, bro. This is Trump's last term. Forget all that. That's another topic anyway. That's another topic.
He is a bit of a madman. So I know that's coming up soon as well. But also, like, the government is moving us slightly mad. I'm not going to lie. So obviously, when in London, those that know, we're mostly in and around London. London is the capital of the United Kingdom to our fellow fans across the world. You know what I mean?
International, baby.
International. But just in case at home going, I don't know. But what they're doing is, as part of the government package. So, you know, earlier in the year, we spoke about earlier on a common episode, they spoke about the fact that the congestion charge and stuff was going to 7 days a week. Yeah, as part of the kind of package that helped TfL, Transfer for London. So the new thing is, apparently TfL are saying, the government is saying, well, look, if you need more money or you need this, you may have to increase the congestion charge. So the congestion zone, they're saying, is going to go from central London to within the North and South Circular, which coincidentally is going to be what is that thing called? The UEL. Is it UEL? The ultra low emission zone.
ULEZ. Yeah, ULEZ. Yeah,
the ultra low emission zone.
Yeah.
So they're saying that potentially the congestion zone will increase. I know there's petitions going around. I know Sadiq wanted to walked away from that kind of thing. He's not on it. If they increase this, it is going to be a madness.
There's no point driving, bro. There's no point.
Yeah, driving as we know it in London is just long.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, like, obviously, I don't know anyone that lives in congestion charge, but you know, if you live in the congestion zone, do you not get like a discount or something?
I have no idea.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, I would imagine that you might have to pay something for the year. Like, you know, like when you have like your parking permits in certain boroughs. Like, I would imagine it might be something like that. And then when you go into another borough, you just pay the full whack. I don't know.
Because I'm thinking if anybody that's already in the North Circular, like within that area, they must get like some random discount. Do you know what I mean? Like, because otherwise.
But don't be surprised if they're not. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. To be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, because they would be handing out fines as a madness. Because I don't see nobody paying that.
But Nate, this is the only way they can make money.
Yeah, but why?
It's so easy to get a fine now. It's so easy, like, to be fined.
But that's my thing. Is like with the whole COVID thing. Yeah, every answer right now is a fine. Yeah, you don't self-isolate, fine. You don't do this, fine. People ain't got fucking jobs. People have not got jobs, bro. People on furlough schemes are done. Where is this money that you think people are going to do? And what's going to happen if a man can't pay it? Are you sending him to prison? You can't even afford prison right now.
It's a mazza. It's a mazza.
And not only that as well, it's like, I guess people that commute on a daily basis, are they now going to have to take public transport, London transport? Do you know what I mean?
And you're already warning us, like, don't take public transport, but take public transport. Don't work, but do work.
You know what? The government... Sorry, Marv, go on.
No, I was going to say, imagine on a normal day how busy London transport gets. And if it starts increasing with loads of people just going on there, it's going to be... How are you going to sustain that, man?
And the government has to be very, very careful of this, because I'm not even exaggerating, but purge.
Bruv.
Trust, because there's a lot of people out of pocket right now, and the government's not making it any easier for them at all. Do you know what I mean? And people are just looking for excuses anyway.
Yeah.
And the government make it easy for them to have excuses to just go on a riot or just go on a madness, because like the government can't handle it. As we can see, they're poor at handling these kind of situations, and it's not looking good, man. Honestly, the near future is not looking good at all, man.
Yeah.
My thinking is, even if like we're out of the crisis of the lockdown situation, will they even bring the price down as well? Do you think it will ever go back to what was it before it went up to £8 a day or something?
Well, originally it was £5. It went up to £8. I think £10.
Yeah.
I think it might have been either 10 or 12.50. One of them kind of prices.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But at least then you knew that you could a 6 o'clock thing. You could go there if you needed to go down the West End quickly or something.
Yeah.
Now it being till 10 o'clock. That's come on.
Nah.
I'll tell you, I got fined once, innit? Like, because I was driving to South London. I thought, let me take the scenic route home by Embankment, and a couple of days later, £80 fine.
That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't happy, man.
That's what I'm saying. They don't even give you warnings. You know, like they don't even. They don't even let you breathe, bro. It's squarely a money making team.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So hopefully, that doesn't come in. I guess if you see the petition, just sign it. Yeah, whatever, innit?
Yeah, I signed it. I think a friend sent it around.
You signed it?
Yeah.
Part of me, I never sign them things sometimes because I just don't know what it's doing with my information. You know, it's just like.
This is your email address you got to give.
I'll make one up just for those kind of things.
That's a conspiracy. So MI5 is watching Nate, boy.
I don't know.
Happy to the Zoom call and all sorts.
Yeah, I don't know, bruv. Anything is possible right now.
Hey, 2020, innit?
Bruv, I mean, I know at work, because we're on Office 365, there's a man that can get access all my emails. You know what I mean? Well, I don't really send nothing on those kind of shit, but it's long, innit? All right. Well, there hasn't really been much news, Kel, or Merv, but there was one other thing. The Football Super League. Did you hear about that today?
I heard about it, yeah. Before we go there, what was the Big Six thing about? Did you hear about the Big Six?
Yeah, so what it was last week, it was called Project... Oh, shit. I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember what it's called. But basically, what they wanted to do, it all ties into this, is that... So what they wanted to do is the Premier League wanted to have a package to help save the lower leagues in the Football League. So they wanted to do is they wanted to kind of put a kind of rescue package so that some of the money was was distributed lower down. Because at the moment, the Premier League was getting all the TV money. So what they were saying is, even for the Premier League TV rights, some of that money would trickle down to the lower leagues. But in order for that to happen, what they would do is they would get rid of stuff like the Community Shield, the League Cup, and there would only be 18 teams in the Premier League instead of 20. And they'd give them, I don't know, 2 billion or whatever the package was. The Football League said no, and some of the Premier League teams said no. And what it is, it's a little bit like, basically, we have a lot of foreign investment and foreign owners in the Premier League. And we have quite a few American owners. So namely, for example, like Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, I can't remember who else is American owned. And within American sport, they are not used to stuff like relegation or any of these kind of things. So in American sport, if you're in the American, I don't know, the NBA, you are in the NBA. Yeah, you can never be relegated out of the NBA.
Yeah, never.
There's no, I had a really shit season, you go down. You stay in that league regardless. So you are guaranteed a certain amount of income. You're guaranteed a certain amount of money. So a lot of our American owners came over here and they were shocked and like confused by British sport. And they kind of want to Americanize it to make that happen. So they want to have stuff like the top 6 have the most say in the league. They hold all the money. Man City can never be relegated again in life. Those kind of things. Liverpool can never be relegated. So that's kind of the package that they wanted to do. The Premier League and everyone else kind of said no. Then they've gone away, and what's happened is that apparently they've come back with like this FIFA-led Super League. Yeah. So it's been authorized by FIFA, which is weird because FIFA do world football and it'll be over UEFA. But obviously UEFA have the Champions League, the Europa League, and they've got another club competition that's coming in from next season, almost like the Cup Winners' Cup. But basically, if you win the League Cup, you go into it. So they want to kind of, if they have this Super League, what they've said is they don't want to take over from your domestic league. So originally, they were like, oh, we'll take X amount of teams out of the Premier League. The Premier League is shit. We'll just do our own thing. They want to have like, almost like a Champions League, but throughout the whole season. But it won't be Champions League and it won't be sanctioned by UEFA. But again, it's kind of like, at the moment, they're saying Manchester United and Liverpool are at the forefront of kind of pushing the agenda, again, because they're both American owners. And they kind of want to do similar, I guess, what they're doing in America, where they do it all over the United States, where you have like your East and West. So I'm assuming they probably have a similar kind of format with them playoffs at the end, trying to make money. Yeah, but I'm not one for it. And I think a lot of people, I don't think a lot of British football fans or even European football fans are really down for it. No, I think people would rather watch Spurs versus West Ham than Spurs versus.
Why you go rub it in? Why you go rub it in for, bro?
No, it was the first one because I remember that game happened over the weekend. You know what I mean? Spurs were winning 3-0 and they drew 3-3. But they would rather watch that than watch Spurs versus Atletico Madrid each week. Or Spurs versus Juventus. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all right on a one-off on the Champions League, but every week, I don't think they're interested. And they would be able to do that if they got rid of the Football League, the League Cup and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
And I guess we'll hear more as it kind of develops. But at the moment, I don't think that the average football fan is on it. I know Merv's not on it.
That's interesting stuff, man. Like I told you, this is education for me, man.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. But I'm a part of me is intrigued. I just want to maybe for a season try it out to see how it works, to see how it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what it is? For me, I feel like it's one of those things that once you go to it, there's no turning back.
Yeah, I know.
And I wouldn't want it to be like one of them random, like, at the moment we've got like this, even on the international scene, we've got this, so many different international friendlies and competitions. Like you have the home nations and you have, what's the other one that they're doing at the moment? Where you got Group A, and if you win it, so like you got England versus who they played the other day. I don't remember who England played the other day.
Denmark, I think it was.
Denmark, all like they're in a little kind of league and all that kind of stuff, and I think like it's too much.
Yeah,
like I feel like they're doing too much.
Yeah.
Like I like the Premier League. The Spanish have the Spanish league. Everyone has it. You have a little Champions League, and it's done.
That's it, exactly. No, it makes sense.
Like, I don't want to confuse it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also, none of these things can work without the fans.
100%. Well, it's what is the thing? Because they're seeing now that basically they have no idea when the fans will be back in the stadiums, isn't it? They have no idea whatsoever. So it's like,
yeah, no, and I'm speaking to people, and they're saying they reckon this is going on for a couple of years, mate, at least.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So are the fans that important anymore?
Well, it is, because if you think about it, this kind of artificial football can only last for so long. Because
for the lower leagues, they're struggling. Yeah,
they're struggling. Like the good thing is, I say good thing is, non-league football, they're allowed fans in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So like,
why? How comes they're allowed fans? Or
I don't know. There's something about it where in the professional game they're not allowed. Yeah. But for example, your local little team that plays in, I don't know, Conference North, Conference South, or Spartan League, whatever, Essex Cup or Essex League, the fans are allowed in there. Obviously, they have to social distance, all the rest of it, but they're allowed in there.
Okay.
And even if you get, I don't know, I don't think they're getting numbers like, I don't know, thousands, but even if you're getting a couple of numbers of a couple hundreds, whatever, 500, whatever, 500 people at £10 a pot is $5,000 that your club didn't have before, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And for me, I think those kind of clubs, that would help tick them over. Yeah, it's all a bit of a madness. I mean, Man United just beat PSG. What? How the hell?
I know. I just saw that now, man. Mad.
Yeah, but PSG have just come back from a lot of COVID-related illnesses and that. So yeah, and I just want to have a little shout out to Virgil van Dijk. Get better soon. Like, obviously, no one wants to see a man get injured.
Nah, man.
To Liverpool fans,
Pickford's he's a waste of it though.
No. To all you Liverpool fans, shame, because now it's going to happen. You have never had injuries for a long time, so let's see if you can do what you got to do. Shout out, Gokes. But the rest of you, that is deep, isn't it?
It's deep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else been going on this week?
The only thing I'll mention is Ice Cube in it.
Go ahead.
Your hero.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, it came out a few days ago that Ice Cube's working with Trump. Everyone's like, whoa, how dare he? How dare he? What Ice Cube, come on, you're about to fight the power and all them kind of things, you know what I mean? He was Nation of Islam. I don't think he's in it anymore, but he was like for the black cause. And I think people got it misconstrued, because what it is that he's produced a Black American contract. I don't know what's in this contract, but it's basically a contract that's helping the Black Americans that have been, we all know they've been mistreated and, been served injustice for hundreds of years in America. So he's produced this black contract, and he's come. Listen, I've got this black contract. Who wants to hear me? Who wants to see this black contract? And Biden, the Democrats, are like, you know what? Let's just wait for the elections to be over, and then we'll talk about it. But Trump's people are like, you know what? Let's see. What, you free now? Let's talk about it. So Ice Cube said, I'm not working with Trump or the Republicans, but they wanna hear what I've got. So I'm not gonna say no. So okay, cool. This is what I've got. This is my Black American contract. Here you go. Let's discuss it. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is. So he's not working with Trump. He's not working with the Democrats. He's just working with whoever's in power and is willing to hear what he has to say and read his contracts and what they think. You know what I mean? And then we could come up with an agreement of how this can be worked and how it can be, you know what I mean, produced in the government. Then he's all for it. You know what I mean? He's not going to turn down Trump because he's Trump. If Trump's the president and he runs the country and he's willing to look at my contract, then why not? Why should I not go to him and discuss it with him?
Yeah,
and I'm not working with him. Yeah.
It's called the Platinum Plan.
Oh, is it a Platinum Plan?
Yeah, it's called the Platinum Plan. And basically, I think it is like a list of kind of action items they want to see. And I think it's about stuff like with healthcare and that, especially since they destroyed like Obamacare and stuff like that. So I think it was one of those kind of things. And apparently he said that they had a Zoom call with the Biden campaign and they agree with 85%. But obviously, like you're saying, because they want to win the election, they haven't had the kind of time to sit down and stuff. And then I think also, because another thing that came out was there was a picture of 50 Cent and Ice Cube in like MAGA hats. You know, Make America Great Again hats. Yeah, but apparently the hats, that was like all photoshopped and none of that happened.
Yeah, of course. That would never happen. Never ever.
Yeah, so do you get me? I stand tall with Ice Cube because he's you get me? Everyone that knows me, Ice Cube is a real G and he's my hero. You know the ones there. I ain't gonna lie. Do you get me? Like Ice Cube, if he said, "Come, man, them, let's ride out," I'm riding out. You know the ones like.
It's a good thing he's doing though, man. It's very unique. You can tell like he's very passionate about his people, and man. I hope it works. I hope someone listens to him, and puts his plans forward and stuff to help the community. 100%.
Yeah, and last week we spoke about the whole Chip and Stormzy kind of saga. There has been no kind of comeback for that, and I'm hearing some kind of inside information that the whole original video with like Stormzy going to see Chip apparently allegedly wasn't like them man trying to ride out. He invited them to the crib. The man them were just with Stormzy. They said they just tagged along. It wasn't a kind of thing where they were trying to ride out. I don't know the ins and outs.
Of course they would say that because Stormzy's a superstar.
But that's what I'm saying. So I don't know the ins and outs. That like the word on the street is that they just went there. Do you get me? Like, say I said, brother, I'm going to my man's yard. Like, who's on it? Are you man's like, yeah, cool. We just rolled. But I think the goons were like some serious guys in it. That's why I think it seemed that way. So I don't know. I know the ins and outs, but I know that Chip has got another video ready to drop, and he ain't dropped it yet. So I'm just kind of waiting for when you're gonna drop it.
Yeah, I saw it as well.
And last one was ZZ this week interviewed Ashley Waters.
that was really good. You know,
it was a good little video. Still.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was really good.
Yeah, and it was good, like, because I think like ZZ, like, she was kind of in awe of Asher, but she couldn't flirt with him.
You could tell.
She couldn't flirt with him because she knows he's married. I don't think his wife plays that. So she's kind of on her best behavior.
Yeah, but it was good, man. A little insight to Ashley Waters and
he talks especially stuff like knowing stuff about the Soul Solid crew and how he kind of had to almost reinvent himself or distance himself from the mandem when he wanted to kind of do his acting thing and when he came out of prison and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, because what he said, he was fake. It was a front. He was never he wasn't from the streets. Yeah. He wasn't that lifestyle at all. It's just because he obviously when he joined So Solid, he was around that. And obviously when you're around that, you inherit their beefs and their issues that they have on the streets. And then obviously he gets threats and whatnot. So he has to start carrying. And then you just become part of that environment and kind of thing. So yeah, he was honest. He was brutally honest so after when he came out from prison, he has to look at himself and say, you know what, that's not me. It never was me. Just that real life to the side.
So deep, you know. So easy to get into that, isn't it? Like,
yeah, big time. And he goes at how he was so naive that he when he was 17, he went to live his his ex-girlfriend's house in Brixton, and obviously in the hood. Do you know what I mean? And obviously he's from Peckham, I think. So it's like he was getting in trouble all the time. Just walking out his girlfriend's house and stuff like that. So like, yeah, it's just mad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good interview. You know what I mean? Shout out Zizi Mills. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to say she's a friend of the show. She's not, but we rate what you're doing, Zizi. So pick yourself up, you know what I mean?
Please be a friend, please.
just a retweet, Zizi. You know the ones there.
A like,
a comment, a subscribe. Everyone else, make sure you're doing the same. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Come on.
All of that. And also, shout out to Tottenham native Heady One. He got #1 album as well for his album.
Yeah. Big up Heady One.
I want to say Edna. Was it Edna?
Edna. Yeah, that's his mum's name, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Mum passed away. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so shout out Heady One. It's a bit of a madness, though. Like, it's like I see one tweet the other day saying that, like, basically to win right now you got to go to prison. So like everyone that comes out of prison, apparently you're winning. Like, so they were talking about like.
But that's what Ashadi said. Like in those days, back in the day, when you're in prison, your career's over. But now you go to prison, like, it's a good thing. Like we can work on your promotion when you're coming out and blah blah blah.
Heady One, Nines, like there's a few of them that are come out and doing their things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the urban scene is doing well. I don't know, like
it's thriving, man. Yeah.
It's thriving. Yeah. Last shout out has to go to OFB because the track that they made, which was Black Lives Matter. If you haven't already heard it, go and check it out. You know? Big. That. You know what it is? You know, like when dual artists, I wouldn't call that like they're musicians, but like they just kind of specialize in a certain type of music, and we're so used to wet a man down, catch a man slipping, shag, all that kind of stuff, and they do like a whole different track where it actually shows their kind of versatility and then be able to rap and stuff. No, it's very good. It's very good.
I'll look out for it. Yeah.
Also, they're from the hood, you know what I mean? North side, all of that. But we're not doing
Broadwater Park, yeah.
Broadwater Farm.
Farm, sorry.
Yeah. Don't make them catch you slipping saying that, boy. What, you're gonna have man them in the comments. Who's this guy? No, because OFB got like lots of random kids from all over the country, yeah? Like random, like I don't know, Georges and Michaels and all that, like that repping OFB properly. Never been London, never been farm, nothing. Like in the comments, they're like the keyboard warriors, bro.
Yeah, come on, always.
Yeah, always, bro. All right, cool. Well, I guess that's the weekly roundup. Guys, it finally came to an end. Lovecraft Country, season finale, episode 10.
The end.
The end, or is it?
End. Still a few questions and stuff, but.
All right, what did you lot think of the last season? What did you think of? I guess we will break it down. What do you think of the last episode? We'll talk of the season in general, and do you think there should be a season 2? So, like, let's talk about the episode first.
I do, yeah. This episode for me, I think it's only towards the end I started to perk up a little bit, but I was like, I think I expected more. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wanted a bit more from the episode. To be
same.
It was almost too nice. I like. It's like almost like we're not sure if we're gonna have season 2, so let's just try and wrap everything up.
The action was like most. The action was the last part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you kind of like, you know what I mean, like the fights with Christina's people and stuff, and then obviously the Letty and Christina fight, and then you know, it was the episode was a good episode, man. It was a good episode. Obviously, what's her name? Diana came back. Her arm's still a bit. Some Walking Dead arm, boy.
Yeah.
Just a Walking Dead arm. But so she come back, obviously pissing her mum. Rightly so, to be honest. The mum's still telling her that, I was enjoying life, time traveling. She's like, but I was here. You know I was here.
About me.
Exactly. So I totally understood where she's coming from, you know, because I'll be pissed as well. Like, what are we talking about? Do you know what I mean? And obviously, when they got a book of names, Tick and let you start doing their chanting and stuff, you know what I mean? Trying.
How does everyone know how to speak in the language of Adam now?
I think
I wonder if it's just something that just takes over them, or they just
when you're of the blood, innit? I think when you're of the blood, you could do it. So Tick is of the blood, and obviously Letty is carrying Tick's blood, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing that's why. And obviously I think Tick's dad could do it as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's of the blood. But yeah, obviously they started chanting, doing their
ritual with the salt and stuff. They put the salt around in a circle.
Yeah,
I remember it was almost like kind of like an Avengers type moment. They were like, "Let's do it!" Like no one can't take nothing from us, and they all just started marching off. And I was thinking, okay. And then they did the whole ritual of the salt thing, and they were in the middle.
No, even before that, no, I'm talking about in the bedroom when they're trying to cure Diana.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then it goes, and then obviously Letty and Tick collapse, and then they go into I don't know where they go.
Almost like a trance, and they were seeing
so they saw obviously the ancestor and then the great grandmom in it, and then obviously the ancestors is breaking it down about how the fire is her rage, and don't be
afraid, innit?
Don't be afraid. Like you got to teach your son the ways and blah 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 and this and that. And then obviously the great grandmother was telling Letty that this is for you now. Like you got to take this book. You got to believe in it. You got to use it. All them things there. And then they come back to the room. You know what I mean? And then Dinah's cured, but with the Walking Dead arm. And then it was just mad. It was just, and then after that, it was a slow thing after that. And obviously, Letty asks Ruby, try and get some DNA from Christina, because if we get a DNA, we can use the magic against her and blah blah blah. Ruby's like, nah, you see, you claim to be my sister, but you only want me when you only talk to me when you want something and blah blah blah. Yeah. Which is kind of true, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So why should I help you?
Was Ruby whipped them times?
She probably was whipped, but it's the truth as well.
Yeah. But because when Ruby started trying to lips my girl.
Yeah,
Christina.
Yeah,
which I thought was weird because I only thought like she liked when Christina was my man. I didn't know.
But that's why Christina asked, "Have you ever done it before?"
Yeah.
She's like, "No, I'm willing to try." But yeah, bro. So but I knew that was Christina from the start. You know how I knew? Because when Ruby came back with the post with the DNA, whatever. But the DNA that Christina had in the house was like some small droplets. Do you remember in that little container?
The vial.
Yeah, and then when she came to meet the others, it was like filled to the top. I was like, nah. So straight away I said, nah, that wasn't that. It wasn't that full before. It was like a little drop, and now it's all full. Like, what's going on? So I knew that. Nah, that's not Ruby. Straight away. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, nice. It was too good to be true. The whole singing in the car, everyone's happy. Do you know what I mean? Singing yeah. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. You know what I mean? And then it got to the place where they want to go, where they need to be. And then obviously the big reveal is that Ruby is actually Christina, and then obviously start fighting and whatnot. Where did Letty learn how to fight like that anyway? I see Letty do some moves, I'm like, raw, some kung fu.
I'm not surprised. Like throughout the whole thing, she just like from when she took the baseball bat to those cars as well.
Yeah.
True. Like, yeah, she's militant. Yeah,
knew she could arms house, man, straight.
Yeah.
Did you?
Because
I was saying that when they did the ritual thing, which was right before that. When they what do you call it? They started trying to kill the grandfather.
Yeah, so Titus, the ancestor as well. Some racist little prick, but yeah. So they needed a part of his body. I think Titus needs to eat a part of his body or something like that, right? In order for the spell to work.
Yeah. So that's when they did like the ritual. He came up. There's like some ghost that came up from out the ground, and then like Bedham just trying to attack him, but he was like he coming like he was too quick for them.
Yeah.
And then there was a bit where they kind of lost it, and then he went up on that to the street level. And that is when Christina's car crashed into him. With Christina,
I don't think he went up. He just teleported, himself.
Yeah,
he did teleport.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was like he just went upstairs or whatever. I was thinking that was weird that they were downstairs at the same time. But so he's there, and then they tried to crash into him, innit? Well, they almost crashed into him.
No, they almost, because obviously he appears in front of the road, and they're like, "What the?" You know what I mean? She loses her
control of the car.
And then obviously Christina knows who it is straight away. Titus. He was like, "Those niggers." And
then obviously at that point I thought, okay, something's gonna happen. And then all of a sudden they started chanting again, and he went back into the circle.
Yeah.
And then they managed to kill my man. Titus managed to stab him. and they take a bit of his heart. Does it take a bit of his heart off?
Not a heart. I think
Some
skin.
flesh, some form of flesh or skin near his heart.
Something, yeah.
And then he dies, which I think was weird because I think he's already dead. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's a bit weird.
Boy.
Yeah, he's dead again. And then I thought, okay, cool. They got him, and I thought, okay, cool. This is like everything just seemed to be going to plan. Everything just seemed to be going like everything hunky dory. And then obviously the next thing was the fight scenes.
Yeah.
And I thought they were decent fight scenes.
No, they were good. Like, it was funny to see everyone that's beefing. Like, so obviously, Hippolyta, and then Atticus' dad, and who else was with that crew?
So it's Hippolyta, Montrose,
and who else?
Was Tick with them as well?
Nah, Tick was on his own thing.
No, it wasn't Ruby.
I think it was Ruby.
Might have been Ruby.
No, Ruby was beefing Letty. Ruby's dead, isn't it, basically?
Oh yeah.
Ruby dead? Did I miss that?
Yeah, she's dead, bro. Ruby's dead, man. Because Christina killed her, innit?
Yeah, it took me a while to clock that, to be fair.
I need to go back and watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't retired when I watched it.
Even in the visions where, when that's who it was. I keep forgetting her name though. George?
It was Ki. Was it Jiha?
Jiha.
I keep getting the name mixed up with the other one.
Yeah, she was there fighting. So it was just good to see everyone that's more combating, boy. You know what I mean? And it was good seeing it. Obviously, again. So I think Tick gave himself up here to be tied up and all that kind of stuff.
Sacrifice
because then Christine needed his blood.
Yeah,
she needed his blood so she could become immortal.
Yeah, exactly. That she just did it for selfish reasons. Basically, that's all she wanted to become immortal. And obviously, when she sees, but because Ruby asked before she died, like, please don't hurt Letty, innit?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that she kept. So that's why she gave the mark of Cain back to Letty, so Letty couldn't die. Do you know what I mean? Cause I was baffled. Like, how come Letty just woke up and just got the mark of Cain? I was confused, but it was later explained that it's because she had Ruby promised to ask Christina not to harm Letty, innit? So she still kind of loved, though she killed Ruby. she still kind of loved her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Crimes of passion, man.
Yeah, them ones there. And obviously, the whole dramatic scene. Yeah, go on, Mark. Go on, Nate. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that, and that's when Tick dies, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, she slits his arms. You know what I mean? Bare blood pouring. I never get that whole cover me with your blood. I don't get that whole ritual thing. It's so annoying. They all do it. All of them.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They all do it, man. And then then Tick, obviously, in his dying breath, sees Letty as like, I love you. Yeah, I love you too. The whole emotional, you know what I mean? And he dies. And then obviously Christina's got all this power now, and she's immortal. And then Letty just goes mad. Letty just goes on one. She's like, nah. She starts chanting on the madness.
Yeah.
She starts chanting, boy, in the Adam language. And then some mad dark smoke comes out. And then this is where George, what's her name?
Which one? The dad?
No, the Korean lady.
Oh, Jiha.
That's what Jiha. Obviously, she remembers the that. Oh, yes. I can't. You explain that part because I don't really know that part, to be honest. So what actually happened? She remembered that she needs to see some darkness and then see some. I don't know.
And then she can get the octopus tentacles thing in it.
Yeah, the tails, whatever. But I don't know. I don't know what she remembered or what that story was that helped her remember that she could do something in this moment. Because as soon as you remember, she went to that dark smoke, and then she was able to use those tentacles to grab Christina and Atticus at the same time, whilst Letty was chanting. And then she was there, and then that's when we saw the flashbacks. That's when we saw Tick training Diana with the hound dog. I call it the hound dog, innit?
Yeah.
Then you also see Ruby dead. Do you know what I mean? Then you also see other stuff that's happening or going on. Do you know what I mean? In that whole vision, because obviously she could see everything in it. So you see everything of Atticus, you see everything of Christina, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously what Lady has done now, she's reversed the spell. Well, not reversed the spell, but she's taken all magic from white people.
Yeah, she took all magic from white people.
Yeah, and give it to the blacks. So white people can't do any magic no more, and stuff like that. And so I think that's how Christina loses her immortality. I think, right?
Yeah, and that's when right at the end, it's that's the Denise that I call it.
Diana
ends up killing her, innit?
Yeah,
artificial hands.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, like it was right because obviously she can't.
This part let me down. That part let me down, to be honest. Let me down.
Why did it let you down?
Was that Diana's not a killer? She's a little kid. She's not a killer.
No, but it's
bruv.
Things have happened to her, bruv. Things have happened to her, bruv.
I hear that, but I don't know.
Last week she had them things dancing after her. You know what I mean?
She turned into one of them.
Yeah, but I was busting up.
Arms mangled and everything.
Her hair was mashed up.
Her hair was mashed up, boy. It has been combed in years.
Like had no grease in it, where?
Yeah, trust me. The comb. It was bad. Comb could not go through that at all.
Nah, straight hot comb business.
Yeah. Old school hot comb. Old school on the fire.
Trust me.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, my sister, them things, they know what happened. They know what that's about.
But I used to bust out. I was sick to get her head done, bruv. Because I used to hear her crying. I was like, boy, sorry to hear that.
And if you get rude, bruv, the hot comb touches the bit of your head, you're like, geez, that burnt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I just don't see, like, Diana, I just don't see her in that light. So it's like, where'd that come from? You know what I thought was going to happen? Obviously, the dog was going to eat her up. That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, just let the dog eat her up.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But when I saw her strangle her, I was like, that's not Diana. Diana doesn't even know what's going on, really.
And but what do you think? Burst her neck.
Yeah, he just burst her neck kind of thing. Yeah. But that's the only part that let me down a bit. I was like, okay.
All right, as a series, what are we saying about Lovecraft Country?
Oh, it's really good. It was really good. Every episode was different. It kept you guessing.
Yeah.
It was intense. It was jovial and it was emotional. It had everything in it. Yeah.
It's a weird one because I find a lot of the TV shows at the moment are all a little bit random. Like, like they're not quote unquote how we would used to have TV shows. Like you would know what's supposed to happen in the next episode. This one did, like you said, kept you guessing. Yeah, we didn't know what was happening from day one. If you go back to first episode when we just randomly saw the dogs for the first time, and we're calling them dogs, they're clearly not dogs, the hounds, whatever they're called. The first time we ever watched it, thinking like, what the hell is this? So like 10 weeks later, like we're looking at them like, yeah, they're normal, bruv. They're normal. Do you know what I mean? Like that stuff is normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like even when Dinah was trapped in the car, not trapped in the car, but she was in the car waiting for them.
Yeah.
And she heard the noises. I knew it was those dogs coming for her, but I also knew that protector one will come and kill them all. I don't know how I knew, but I just guessed that she'll get saved by the black one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I enjoyed the series. I think the series was a good series. I would recommend it to people. I'd say watch it. If you are somebody that is not necessarily used to alternative kind of TV shows, I would say give it time because I think there are certain parts of it I think it's sick. I also like the underlying, similar to like how Watchmen was, the underlying themes and stuff that come into it, like the whole Tulsa, all of the kind of cultural references to things that was happening of that time, I think is absolutely sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's a sick backdrop for kind of TV shows of this generation or this kind of time era to watch things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like,
because you get some magic. Yeah, there's loads of like even the whole Tulsa thing. Again, maybe a lot of people that didn't watch like Watchmen may still not even know about what happened in Tulsa, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's the first time I heard of it in Watchmen, and now they revisit it here. So it's a lot of education too, man.
Just one quick question about the show, though. So that birthmark was to hide them from other people with magic, right? Is that right? The ancestor gave it that birthmark, so they'll be hidden from any sort of wrong magic or whatever. So how did Christina find them, or how did Christina find Atticus?
Well, didn't they find her? Like, this is what I'm saying.
No, because remember she was following them from the first episode. Remember, she was stalking Atticus. Do you remember when he came out and she was parked up in like some alleyway watching Atticus? And then obviously when the white people were chasing them in that car, and she comes and uses that invisible barrier thing to kill them. So she was stalking them for a while. But I thought, obviously later on we discovered the birthmark is like given to them to hide them from those people. So it's just weird how she was able to find them. Maybe it was explained in earlier episodes.
You know what I think with a show like this, I think we almost have to kind of go back to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we're gonna watch it with different eyes.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'll go back and watch the 10 episodes and go, okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, I get it. That is where they connected it. Do you know what I mean? Because every week we're watching it blind. We don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're kind of getting caught up in the actual episode. So I might have to do a Marlon and just go back to the beginning and watch it again.
Yeah, it's true.
I almost feel like watching the last episode again, man.
Yeah, but I think if I watch the last episode, I think I might as well watch all of them. There's 10 episodes in it. Like I might as well go back and watch all of them. Because I think there are definitely bits that I miss.
Yeah, I think everyone missed some bits, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely 100%. Think there are bits that I've missed. All right, what are we saying? Season 2, are we there for it? Or should it be like Watchmen and we just park it there?
I think there has to definitely be a season 2, man.
But I don't think that Atticus will come back, though.
Well, he's dead now. So...
No, but come on, this is magic. They can do some hocus pocus and resurrect it. But if you watch Supernatural like me and Murphy watch Supernatural, bro, Dean and what's his name? Sam have died many of times. They have died many of times and come back.
They've faced it all, man. They've faced it all.
But do you not think that you would bring back George then? Like, why did George come
back? I reckon he'll come back. No one dies in these programs anymore. I think both of them will come back. Like, if they keep either one, or if they keep George dead, I'll be like, okay, well, yeah, they're committed, man. They're committed to the death. But I know what's his name. What's his name? Jonathan Majors. Like, I think I know he's like going to be doing bigger things, but TV series these days are more or less getting just as big as movies, isn't it? So
it
might be released.
Yeah, because this whole COVID thing. Yeah,
exactly. So it might, I think he'll find a way of managing between films and Lovecraft, because that's what big celebrities are doing now. They're doing a lot of TV as well, isn't it? So
yeah. I mean, Marlon put in a group that they're in talks of doing a season 2, but nothing's confirmed yet. I did hear a rumor that they're thinking of doing. If they do a season 2, it'll be like a whole different story kind of thing.
Okay.
Based on the same, but like a different country altogether, kind of thing.
All right. Yeah, kind of like what's that thing called again? True Detective. Sort of similar thing. Yeah, exactly. They just follow different stories, isn't it?
Exactly.
But, yeah.
All right. No. All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm on it. I think a lot of the actresses were sick. And actors. So like, I'm not just watching actresses. Clearly. But like, I thought it was sick. Like, shout out Letty, shout out Ruby, shout out Hippolyta. Like, I think all 3 of them were sick.
Yeah, that was sick, man. That was sick.
They were sick.
But I mean, they could also do a spin-off and focus on Diana and her pet now, innit? And do a spin-off. Yeah.
Oh, even
I'd like to see that,
Even Hippolyta and her journeys, bruv.
That as well.
Yeah. They've got so much directions to go through it, man.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll be good to see, like, when in the future, whatever, and then Tick comes. Do you know what I mean? From the past. Yeah. And then obviously, because it is Diana that pushes him back because of her robotic arm that he described, innit? Yeah.
All right, cool. Nah, Lovecraft Country. We don't do ratings, but we would give you a what out of 10?
I give it 8.59 out of 10.
Merv?
Yeah, I'll give it a 9.
You don't Merv wanted to say 10, is it?
I would say 10 quietly as well, isn't it? Like,
it's all right, because Rich ain't here.
Rich ain't here, man. Don't watch that, man.
Rich be like, I'll give it a 2. Oh, fuck off, bitch. Yeah, nah, Lovecraft, I'd probably give it a solid 8.5, 9. Like, it was a good show. It was a good show. All right. Well, that's Lovecraft Country. We will come back next week with a new regular, as that were our 3 regulars done. Lovecraft, Power Book's coming back in December, and obviously
The Boys.
Yeah. All right, which leaves us on to Enslaved episode 3. Yeah, so this time it was kind of mainly focused on the talk of escape from slavery.
Yeah, the rebels, the rebels. Yeah.
And like how a lot of them kind of strove to go to freedom. They talked about stuff at the underground railroads. They talked about Harriet Tubman, and they talked about that a lot of them were kind of trying to make their journey to Canada. Like I guess the journey to
New York or Canada, North America, basically, because those
they
were free.
They were free, yeah.
Bruv, 600 miles some people traveled, you know.
Mad.
Like
I know I did walks, and I did like 31-mile walks and everything there, yeah. Like, I gotta lie, yeah. Like, 9 hours. Bruv, that'd be me doing that 20 days to get 600, bruv. Bruv, I told you, I got nothing but respect for all of them. Do you know what I mean?
But Nate, not to exclude you, Nate, but Merv, Handmaid's Tale is that.
I was just because Canada seems to be the place to go to for freedom.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's based. What it is that they've reversed the slavery where America gets enslaved. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it, Nate. So
No, bro. I've got bare. Well, that's online. I'm gonna say I got bare time. I have not got bare time. Working full time is a lot right now, but I will try to get onto them.
But yeah, it's a story where like a far right government. Imagine like the farthest right you can get, where women are only good for one thing, and that's to just give birth, and just to do laundry, that like cook meals. Do you know what I mean? Like it's far right party that overtook America. Do you know what I mean? So everyone is enslaved. You know what I mean? And people are just trying to escape because Canada is obviously. So it's slavery. It's also about rebellion, and also about trying to get into Canada because Canada is a free nation. So them being immigrants in Canada, do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really good series, man. But yeah, so when I was watching Enslaved, I was like, wow, this is Handmaid's Tale. It's exactly the same thing. And anyone who watches Handmaid's Tale should wake up and like realize what's happening today. Do you know what I mean? And this is what's happening today. It's just been disguised in a TV show.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got these subliminal messages, man.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, back to Enslaved, man. No, it was a really good episode, man. It's just the fights people had, man, and the courage, and it's the bravery that they in those days where killing a black person is absolutely nothing.
That's nothing.
It's absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? So for them to just have that courage to escape and
it was you hear about the Americans, and you hear about them talking about like blacks were less than 2/10 of a human, or whatever the saying is. I can't remember what the saying was.
3/5 or something.
Yeah, like so it's nothing. You can see that you've got generations of people that have grown up ancestrally through their lineage believing that like we're not worth anything. Like who are we? We're a dime a dozen. And like you can see that it's so go on, Murph.
No, go on, you go finish.
I was gonna say, so you can see why that kind of stuff is still happening today because they're looking at their history and this is what they're seeing. We're not worth shit.
Yeah. And you know what's deep? Like when they were saying that, you probably had maybe a handful of slave owners or just basically controlling like what maybe hundreds of men, maybe like, and it's one of them ones like, look how many of us are there, and we still like the fear, and even like up until thousands, like hundreds to thousands, and just because of that fear, and they're holding their children and their wives is somewhere else. It's like we have to comply, and it's when you think to yourself the amount of numbers that were there, did anyone think to sort of say, look, there's more of us there, like, yeah, maybe we might lose some lives along the way, but let's take back just by fighting, innit? But
and I think some of them did.
I don't know if you know Nat Turner.
Yeah, Nat Turner, yeah.
And he was he killed, I can't remember how many, but he killed thousands of white people. Like in those times, he gathered up a little army and was very like, and then he like set out to like just kill a lot of the slave masters and stuff like that. But obviously, with time, they got overthrown and killed, or they all got slaughtered and stuff.
It was that thing because, well, ultimately, as a slave, you had your fists and you had weapons or whatever. But the slave masters had guns, and the slave masters had all those things, and they had horses and that kind of stuff. So you automatically always were kind of outnumbered almost in what you could do.
For real. Yeah, don't want to take the risk on it.
And they had stuff like fire and all of those kind of. There's loads of all of those kind of the mind games and
like, you know what, Merv, as well. Like they'll get the biggest guy and torture him for days in front of everyone. So it's just like that
the mindset,
mental, you know, that
mental torture.
Slavery. Yeah, because you're seeing the biggest, baddest guy in your family or in your plantation getting tortured, bro. You know,
once that happens, you're like, well, what are we gonna do now? Innit? Just comply, innit?
Yeah,
I don't want no problems.
If you think about it, like if you're thinking of the road, that's what happens on the road. You go for the biggest man, you lick the biggest man down. Once you lick the biggest man down, everyone's like, oh, raw, okay, cool. Oh, you're serious.
Yeah.
And can't get on.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? It was those times, yeah, bro. And,
and even the songs, like I know the songs always had a sort of code to them, innit? But like even that
that was big.
What was that, Way Down the River?
Yeah.
Like even just I never actually thought about it. Just to like go there. So if the dogs chase you, they can't.
They can't
go in the water.
They can't.
Do you know when I tell you what? You know that song? Do you know when I realized it was one of those kind of songs? Do you remember it was an episode of Fresh Prince one time? Will's talking to the grandma. And the grandma was singing the song. And from then, I think she was telling him about the story. And I was like, from then, I knew Wade in the Water Children was one of those kind of songs.
I've heard that song in so many different programs, and it's like you don't even clock really, innit?
Nah, not at all.
And like even when they spoke about Harriet Tubman, like have any of you seen the film Harriet yet?
No, but they had a Netflix series that was based on her.
Yeah. So I've watched Netflix series, but also if you get to watch the film that came out the other day, watch it. I think like you can see what Harriet was doing and all those kind of things. And I think it's mad, like even the whole Underground Railroad. And there was that program that was on Netflix. I don't know if it's ever been on Netflix since, which was called Underground, which had Letty in it. Letty from
that's the one. That's what based on her. That's what I was talking about.
Underground. That's the one with Kato. That's the one with there's a guy called Kato in it. If you get a chance to watch it, sick program. Sick. Like I thought about it, saying to myself, oh, like what was your best, like, but then I thought to myself, I can't ask a man, like that can't be a question. What was your best slavery film? That's fucked up, innit? But like it's mad. It's a mazza. You can't ask them kind of questions. But very, very good show. Very good show. It's very educational, and I think it's important for us to acknowledge that part of our history.
Oh yeah, big time, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think we've made leaps and bounds, and there's been loads of kind of change that's happened. But we've also got to understand there's probably a long way to go still.
You know what? The thing that when I always thought that the slaves from the South, you know, escaped to New York and the northern part of America. I didn't actually knew they escaped to Canada, but I knew that when The Rock's father passed away. His father passed away recently, so I just googled his father in it because he was a wrestler as well, and his ancestry was from that. Like his ancestry like escaped from the slave masters in America into Canada, and they had a little own settlement in Canada. Do you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I was like, see. So it was from that I knew that they traveled far, bro. Imagine they traveled far, man, just to escape the powers that be. Man,
it's mad. Imagine you did all that way, and there's gonna be someone who's like a bit of an Uncle Tom, and he's the one gonna be just fucking snitch on you, bro. Like, you know that because that's what.
Can't trust your own. By the conquest, you'll think that. Listen, if I snitch on this brother, I won't get rewarded. I'll be able to sleep in the house or something stupid. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah,
it's mad. But that was a good episode. There's one more left, right?
Yeah, one more episode next week Sunday. So that'll be the last
Is
episode.
there? I thought there was 5. Only 4.
Nah, so there's a 5. It was 5 parts in America, but in
Yeah.
England it was 4 parts because they extended the parts. So I'm thinking America is like.
Oh
15
right, I
minutes,
see.
whatever.
Yeah.
They just kind of
yeah.
extended it slightly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's good watch, man.
last episode, man. That should be decent.
Mm.
Which led us to a show that was fronted by the man of the moment, Mo Gilligan, which was Black, British and Funny, which came on Channel 4 this week. So if you haven't watched it, you can watch it on 4 on demand.
Is this one episode?
Yeah.
I think it's that one off. Yeah,
It's just a one-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
What did you think of the program before I take over the whole thing? Like, what did you think of the program?
No, I loved it.
I think it was insightful, man. It's like, it's weird. We've all been to stand-up comedy shows like over our times, and you forget that these people are just normal people as well sometimes. Like they've got other things doing. Like I guess in particular, like Slim, when he was just talking about, we've got a day job. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, wow, like, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, I think when you see someone of that caliber, and when you think about it, it's like, well, he's not, out of all the famous people in the UK, where does he fit into it? But to me, he's still quite famous, you know what I mean? And then, yeah.
Yeah, no,
but this is what he's saying. Yeah, it was Slim. This is what they're saying. It's systematic, where, because I never really clocked it. When you watch all these comedy shows and stuff on Channel 1 to 5, and all these quiz shows and all these banter shows, you don't see any black people there. No. But I just, because we're so immune, or just we're just used to it, you don't think nothing of it. You just think, yeah, that's how it is. But when they show it to you, like, every 20 years, every 20 years they give a black person a show. And what killed me as well was the KG story, where that obviously they're making a little buzz. Like, I remember I remember KG with the roller skates and blah blah blah. And was it something pork? Was it a little thing, something and pork?
Little sketch, yeah.
And so I used to love them back in the day, and obviously they had a little buzz, and obviously the TV deals were there, but they were like, listen, right now we've got
space for one of you. Space for one of you.
That one in, one out system, isn't it?
Bro, Amos, bro.
It's mad. It was my man's some old granddad doing.
Amos is funny though. Amos is funny.
No. I'm not saying he's not. Yeah. I'm just saying his comedy is so different from their comedy. Like, there's no crossing. There's no. Ah, man, it's crazy.
It was mad because they said the only thing which was similar was Blur Black. That was the only thing that was similar.
That's the only thing. So because of my man, you can't give me a deal. So now I'm gonna hate my man, and then I have to wait for my man to flop before you can try and even look my way, which is not a good feeling, because you're hoping that man flops now just so I can get a chance.
And it was that whole thing, and I guess for me, like, obviously being from the ends or what have you, so like Hackney Empire was on my doorstep. Like, from about 15, I used to go to watch shows in Hackney Empire. Like, a show would come out, I'd pay my £25, I'd go and watch a show at Hackney Empire, me and my brother. So when we talk about, I guess, in my head, because I see all these comedians all the time, so I'd go and see Slim, I'd go see Mohammed, Leo Mohammed, I'd see Eddie Nesta, Robbie G, all of that. Like, and times like I'd go out with my mum and she'd introduce me to Robbie G and Eddie Nesta, and I'd be talking to them, and like I remember there was one time it was like I was staying in school and all this shit, and I was like, yeah. When a bigger man sees a little man, then that's all he can say, like, to stay in school. So like I was like, yeah. And I'd go to school and I'd go, oh my God, I met them and all this kind of stuff. Like, so in my head, because I'm always seeing them, like, and I'm going to their shows, I don't even realize that mainstream is not seeing them. So in my head, like, everyone must be seeing them.
They are seeing them. No, they are seeing them.
No. What I meant, when I say I mean like mainstream is in like the norm. Like like my white brethren's at school. Like, why don't you understand who he is? Because I see him all the time. Yeah. But I forget, like, I'm going comedy shows and I'm going to like comedy show. What was the one in Sundays? The one at West End?
Yeah.
Sunday show.
Fun House or something like that?
Yeah, but I think Kojo's comedy.
Kojo's comedy.
I was shocked that Kojo didn't. Why did they call Kojo? He done that every Sunday, you know, like every Sunday.
Yeah, I used to go to some of them.
I'm surprised they didn't call him for the show because he opened doors for a lot of people.
Yeah, and he was the Prince of Hackney at one point, but I think
bro, you know what I mean.
Maybe he sold that on Britain's Got Talent, but we're not going to go there. But yeah, so like it was like for me, like I said, it was really, I thought it was a very insightful program, and I think even like at one point, this like when I watched it, I thought, you know what, we could do like a whole podcast on this episode, like break it down into different sections when they talked about like the history, then when they talked about the current, then when they talked about the one out, one in, and they talked about stuff like even listen to them man saying, yeah, Mo, you're the guy right now. You get me? Yeah. It's you're the guy, and Mo's like, rah, that's mad pressure though. Like he's the new, and it was when I looked at it, I said, rah, they really don't let many of us through.
Nah, man.
Like we've had people had to go to America. So like even when you look at someone like
Gina Ashray,
Gina Ashray just effed off and went to America.
Slim should have gone time ago, you know. Slim, you should have gone time ago, man. I'm not saying it's too late. I'm not saying that, but.
But you know what it is? I think Slim's got, I don't know, Slim's family's hair and all the rest of it. I don't know if that is what he wanted to do. But when he did that joke about, I'm going to go to America, he's like, where are you going to go? Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Obviously, where do you think I'm going to go? I
was like, Mississippi.
I was like, yeah, could you imagine Slim? Yeah, man, I've gone to America. I'm in Mississippi. Like, just like, yeah, like. And like, it talks about like the whole kind of thing where comedy has changed, where like we've had to kind of make our own lane. Like and stuff like the whole viral stuff and the whole like don't jealous me and all of them kind of man that do the sketches, like all of them that came up like that, and like even your guy, Michael Dapper, like, like when he talked about the fact that like, it would have been successful to get like 250,000 YouTube views, and then I saw the clock go to like 37.5 million.
Mad.
And then you think to yourself, I see why you're performing this on stage, bro. I don't know how much YouTube give her views, but I know you're making money off this.
Oh, come on.
Do you know what? Could you imagine when they showed that clip of him doing the Man's Not Hot? Like, I don't know where he was, but it was just, I thought, can you imagine how that feels? You've just done something just for a joke.
As a joke thing.
It's like you're just on stage in front of thousands of people, just all different walks of life, and it just roaring.
He was a rap star for a good few months.
Yeah, do you know how and it's deep because obviously with the things going viral, imagine like all the comics from back in the day, if this platform was out, like everyone would just be laughing right now, man. There'll just be so much in it. I reckon it would have been one of them ones where we've got no choice but to put everyone in their own TV shows because the whole world wants to see them, innit? It's like they're trending now, so it's like let's put them all where they need to be.
And even listen to them about them, like the laughter thing. And he goes like, when you go to like black comedy shows,
it's so true.
And it's so true. So like we laugh, we're banging chairs, like we're so animated. He goes like, you go to a white comedy club and they just be clapping, like. And I was like, it's true, you know. I've been on both sides.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest, but it's so true.
It's so true, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I go comedy club, and it was when he talked about like you dress up to go comedy club on a Sunday, bro. It's that.
Yeah, it's that.
Like I'm not even gonna lie.
Best cologne, everything.
Right. Friday, I'm going to I guess the day of the release of the pod. There's you know the drive-in cinema thing that we have around here at Enfield. They've got like I can't remember what it's called. I don't want to for something comedy or whatever it is. Like the car thing. So basically, they got like Richard Blackwood. I think couple other big comedians. They're all going to be there this Friday. So I'm going to this one on Friday, and then they've got a couple, like one in October. I think one in November. No, 2 in November. So if it's good, I'll let you lot know. Like I think we should roll down one time. Like
I'm on that. I'm on that. Yeah,
no, it's definitely sick. Like, and I used to love going to those things. Like Hackney Empire was my.
And it's true. It's a different kind of pressure when you're performing in front of black people because, like the man says, like we not all of us, but you know, like the guy said, we go back to like racism, being treated a certain way, and blah blah. So we come there to laugh and forget about all our issues and worries. Do you know what I mean? So. It's like pressure for them to make us laugh and enjoy ourselves, you know what I mean? Like mad pressure.
Yeah, no matter what your day is, you come there to bust up. Yeah. And I remember watching like the 291 Club, and when a man gets booed and the man comes on with a hook and off you go, bruv, you're not funny. Like come off the stage. No, but definitely, I think it was definitely insightful to comedy. I think it was very good. And I'd hope, and even when you listen to what's my man's name now, Curtis Walker, and he said to how much he'd love to be on the other side of the camera. Like his dream is to like write a comedy show where actually he's directing white people, like, and he's
everyone in the back's black.
Like it's mad. And I guess it's always going to be that thing where you kind of got to do for yourself, if that makes sense. But in England, I think that's so hard. Like in America, there seems to be the infrastructure to do it. And even then, they'll still knock you down. Like, do you know what I mean? The talks of like Bill Cosby owning his own TV channel, Oprah Winfrey having her own TV channel, things just kind of get put by the wayside. And there has to be money and all the rest of it to kind of put these shows on. Like, I don't know if we're ever going to get another quote unquote Real McCoy on TV. Do you know what I mean? Actually on TV.
What was that program we were talking about a few weeks ago with the ones that weren't funny, Nate?
Shit, what's it called, Kel? And the man was doing the Jamaican.
Oh, Famalam.
Yeah, Famalam.
I guess they are the new version, but
the thing is, that's BBC Three. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to like.
Oh yeah, for real.
You have to know. You have to be in the know to know. To watch those.
And you know what? I guess something like Real McCoy has always been so memorable, even up to now. It's like, and it had quite a long run, didn't it, as well? Whereas you've got things like, Famalam and what's that? Time travel one? Yeah, Time Wasters. Like, they're kind of on, but they're not mainstream. Like, they're not you won't find it on like Thursday at 9 o'clock on Channel 4 or something.
And even when they talked about that though, or ITV2, you'll find a lot on stuff like ITV2.
Yeah.
But even with Famalam, I guess what it was difference was because like in Real McCoy, when Curtis Walker was talking, we were tackling things that were actually like serious kind of things and funny. But I almost feel sometimes with a little bit like Famalam, they're almost going for the Ali G type comedy, if that makes sense, where they're they're laughing at the stereotypes of blackheads. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they walk in a certain way, they talk in a certain way, like that kind of comedy, where I would prefer it to be like more clever comedy. Like, and they spoke about the Real McCoy sketch where they talked about like the BMP. Like, and I remember that show. Like, I remember that episode when they're talking to the man. He's like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "Everywhere." And he's like, "Where?" He's like, "India." No. Africa. No. And like, just that whole kind of, it was clever because the man's like, "You've got X amount of days to go back where you're from," and he's thinking, "Where the hell do I come from?"
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, for me, I think Real McCoy pushed the boundaries. Well, I don't necessarily know if Famalam, no disrespect to the man, them. Like, I don't know if it pushes the boundaries as much. Like, you doing Jamaican Countdown, I'm still going to go back. Like, like, it makes us chuckle, innit? Like, it made you man chuckle, innit? But, like, I want it to, you know what I mean? It's not, it's belly laughter for the moment.
I know what you mean.
It's belly laughter for the moment.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Do you know what I found funny though? I can't remember the guy's name, but when he said he'd done the voice of is it Tinky Winky or Poe? One of the Teletubbies, isn't it?
Dipsy.
Yeah, that's it, Dipsy. Yeah. Like, I thought I would never imagine that in a million years, you know.
Yeah, because I always remembered, like, there was always rumors that Dipsy was the black boy, like that Dipsy was the black boy because he was the coolest, and I was like, what? Like, you know, that I would say it was a youth because Teletubbies went out when we was youths, but we were younger. And I watched him thinking, how do you know which one's which? Like, it doesn't make no sense. But he did that, and he was in so many episodes.
Yeah. That's
yeah, nah. But yeah, I guess that kind of led me on to the question: who's your favorite comedians? Like, who's your favorite Black British comedians, or who's your favorite? Yeah, let's do Black British, then we'll do a Black American, then we'll just do like comedians, innit?
I do like Slim and Richard Blackwood. Like, yeah, they probably give me.
Yeah, they were our times, innit? They were. That's what I was gonna say, because like like everyone said, Richard Blackwood was the first black person we saw. He was our Fresh Prince, bro. He was my Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? I was like, rah, we got our Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? Man had his own show. Man used to rap, and like he had that look in it, that I'm a superstar kind of look. All the girls loved him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and he was funny. Do you know what I mean? So
he is genuinely funny as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like
100%.
Everyone's like, oh, let's just like, he's the one that's out right now. Let's everyone follow him. He's that, like, he's still got it in it. He's still funny, man.
And Slim was that guy. But his jokes were just so real. Like his jokes were like day-to-day life jokes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And he's just so angry as well.
Yeah, he's just so angry, like typical black, like, you know what I mean? That's why you can just relate to his jokes so much. It gives you belly laughter. Like Slim will give you belly laughter jokes. Do you know what I mean? Because you can relate and see it so vividly the way he describes it. Like, it's just too funny. And then obviously you got people like Cat as well, but Cat wasn't really. He was more of a presenter. He wasn't really.
He was a host more than a
host.
stand-up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Curtis Walker and guys, obviously Real McCoy and stuff. But yeah, for me, definitely, I agree with Mervyn. Yeah, Slim and Richard Blackwood, 100%. Yeah.
I think my old school ones were probably like Robbie G, Eddie Nestor. Like for me, them as a duo were timeless. They were timeless. Slim has always been one of I think the most profound comedians. I think he's absolutely sick. I don't think I've heard a shit Slim set yet.
No.
I don't think I've probably on level. I haven't heard a shit Slim one yet. Yeah. Out of the current breeds, you've got it's weird because like comedy is like can be a bit crass at the moment. So like someone like so you've got like the new breed. You've got like the White Yardies. You've got Dizzle the comedian. Them kind of man. They're funny. They're different.
They're funny. Most you know what? Most funny. I ain't gonna lie. Stand up on Netflix kind of let me down. I don't always come with a negative, but for me, it didn't really impress me that stand up he done on Netflix. Yeah, but he is funny. He's funny.
No, Mo. Yeah, Mo. I was gonna say modern time. Mo is definitely. I like it when Mo does these Instagram.
Yeah,
videos, isn't it?
Even Michael Dapper on Instagram, he's hilarious. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would
you got
be
Axel as well. Axel, them man there.
Axel comedian, Ori Styler. There's a lot of them that are kind of coming up, like that are decent. Like, and to be honest, I can't not.
By the way, Axel's got a show on Amazon Prime. You know, he's got like a stand-up on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I watched it because that was done for his birthday a couple of years ago. I think his 30th. I think it was. Yeah. And you can't forget someone like Lenny Henry.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Like Lenny Henry was like he's proper. He was proper.
Original bad boy.
Original. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of them kind of ones that are coming up and all the rest of it. In terms of like British comedy to American comedy, like American comedians, obviously it's like a whole different ball game. Like, who would be your go-to American comedian?
For me, it's Dave Chappelle.
Are we talking about any?
Yeah, any. Like Dave Chappelle for me, I think is hands down the GOAT.
Dave Chappelle, man. But I don't think I've laughed like uncontrollable tears, man. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever done it. Like Dave Chappelle absolutely murdered me. Like murdered me.
The day we went to go watch the live set.
Oh, killed me.
Sick. It's funny watching Richard because did Richard come in the end? Or did Richard not come? Richard had ticket. I bought him a ticket. He didn't come. He's like, "Who's Dave Chappelle? Who's this guy?" Bruv, he's hilarious, bruv.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. I can't lie. I probably need to get on board with Dave Chappelle, innit? Like, I think I've only seen one like stand up with him. That's like the most recent one on Netflix, I think.
Bro, on a level, see the ones on Netflix. Go and watch them. The last one I think he did, or second to last one he did. Yeah. So clever, bruv. When he wrote some of them jokes.
But the thing that the reason I love Dave Chappelle is it's not scripted. Well, it doesn't come because he'll just bring up some random stuff like he'll just like stuff that happened in a crowd there and then, and he'll make a whole joke about what's happening, like what happened, and he'll go to a whole different story. So it's a natural rapport where he's just talking, and then he'll just pick up on things and. Yeah, bro, it's too much.
To be fair, like Dave Chappelle show as well. Like seen a few sketches of that as well. Like
the Dave Chappelle show again. Seriously, again, Merv, if you haven't watched the Dave Chappelle show, bruv.
I watched a few sketches of that, man. I was proper in tears.
Dave Chappelle,
Charlie Murphy one.
He's amazing.
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, he's amazing, bruv. Like everything. I don't. There's too many sketches to kind of bring up, but he's amazing. I think Cat Williams is sick.
Yeah.
Cat Williams, whether he's on something or he's not on something, I think he's fucking funny. He's funny.
And you know who's underrated? Who's very, very underrated? Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin's funny.
He's funny, you know. Funny. He's mad funny. And Cedric as well. Cedric the Entertainer. He's underrated as well. He's really funny.
There's too many of them, man.
That's what I'm saying. The Kings of
Too many of
Comedy. Nah, bro. I will feel like I want to go watch some of this.
I feel like that's what I feel like doing after.
I feel like just before I go to my bed, I'm going to sit there and watch some of those.
Yeah.
Go to bed with laughter, man. Like,
trust me.
Kings of Comedy was funny.
Eddie Murphy for me, man. Eddie Murphy Raw.
Eddie Murphy Raw.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. The Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, like.
On a side note, it was announced this week that Coming to America, which was supposed to be coming out at Christmas, has been bought by Amazon Prime, so that will come out in Prime on December.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're not sure what's going on with the cinema thing, so Prime.
It makes sense. They've
spent like 25 mil apparently on that.
Is it?
Well, to be fair, they always said that Coming to America 2 probably would, like, even if without the COVID happening, it probably wouldn't have been a
cinema
box office hit in the cinema anyway. If it was, it would have been quite a shock. So I think video on demand is the perfect place for it, because I reckon it will just. I don't know. Do you have to pay for it, or is it just based on?
No, I think it's coming. I think it's just in the Prime deal.
So it's probably just the Prime deal and the amount of views it gets in it. So I would imagine that it's going to be millions watching that, man.
Yeah. Multiple times, I'm not gonna lie. You know the ones where like anytime anyone comes over, hey, you man, we're like, come to America too. Like I'm sitting in the background, just start speaking the whole film and that. Yeah, no, definitely.
But most of the people we mentioned, they're stand-up comedy. What about actors that are, do comedy? Like, who's your top ones?
Martin Lawrence? Are we allowed to say Martin Lawrence? Because I know he did stand up as well.
But he's allowed. Yeah.
Martin Lawrence, I think he's top.
Is that Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart as well, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. Why did they completely disappeared from my mind?
Damon Wayans.
Yeah. Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker is even a joke, man. Like,
yeah, man. Straight from
the always screaming, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Tucker. Will Smith's got to be there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's mad, and there's loads of, like, I look back, even now, even like I can think of YouTube American comedians, like even, what's my man that's in Power Book 2? Kane from Power Book 2. Woody.
Oh, Woody, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he's more of he's an Instagram.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, considering that he's a man that's come up on the whole social media Instagram thing, and like, now he's in big TV series.
Man done Bobby Brown. Man done, the what's it called?
New Edition.
New Edition. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's loads, man.
There's loads coming out, man. So yeah, man. But shout them out. Do you get me? I know, like, obviously it's still Black History Month, so we're doing our thing. You know what I mean? Just mentioning what's going on. Before we finish, there was a new program that is starting last week. Was that Merv? Star Trek Discovery.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, season 3, episode 1's out so far. Just started on Netflix on Friday. If you're into did I say Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, so
I'm into it. I prefer Star Trek to Star Wars. Don't kill me, people.
No. It's just
I prefer Star Trek. Yeah.
Don't apologize.
You know what? Star Trek, with this series and Picard, it's just taken and also the recent films that come out. I think for people that are proper diehard Star Trek fans, Trekkies like. They have a bit of a problem with these new ones, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
It's starting to like, Star Trek is like a sci-fi program with just bare sophistication and you're beyond like,
the trivial nonsense that happens.
They're the gentlemen and ladies of space.
Yeah, like it's like conflict with just bars, isn't it? Like it's just like intelligence and all that stuff. Whereas now they've kind of brought it back to like, let's be cool and say all these PC things and these hip words and all that stuff. Like, even with Picard, I think the amount of swearing in Picard, I'm like, no, this is wrong. And I think someone was saying like, JP. I'm like, can't call Captain Jean Picard JP like he's one of your boys or something.
Yeah.
Nah, man, put some respect.
He's a
on
captain
his
of the
name,
ship.
innit?
You get me? Like,
Yeah.
show some respect.
Like, so it has taken a turn. I do like it. I do enjoy it, and there are these all connections going on with the whole Star Wars. I keep saying Star Wars, man, Star Trek lore, but yeah, I'd say get on it, and it comes out once a week, so you can catch up.
We've got time to catch up.
Yeah, cool, man. That's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I know there's a couple. We'll come back next week with some new shows for you to watch.
Yeah, no, I think there's one on Sky. Is it The Island or The Third Day? The Third Day, I think it's called, on Sky. Yeah. It's got a black British lady that's in it. She's in the Bond movies.
Oh, the one that was in what's that thing? Bulletproof. No, I know you're talking about Naomi Harris.
Naomi Harris. Yeah. So
okay, that's been out a little while still.
Yeah, the Third Day is on Sky. It looks interesting. It looks really interesting. Season 1's out.
Okay, 6 episodes and 1 special.
Yeah. Also, I want to get onto the, obviously not for you, Nate, but I want to get onto the Haunting.
Yeah, I
want to start watching that as well. That's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Haunting. Yeah. I finished Handmaid, so yeah.
Yeah. And also The Undoing, like I mentioned before the pod, like it's got what's her name in it? What's her name? Come out. Yeah, Nicole Kidman, Hugh Grant, Donald Sutherland. I don't know what it's about, but is
it a film or a series?
Series on Sky Atlantic.
Okay,
it just looks,
Undoing, yeah.
It's based on a book, a 2014 novel called "You Should Have Known." I won't tell you anything more about it.
Yeah, you know when something just drops on Sky Atlantic and it's got certain heads in it, you're like, no, I need to watch it just for that reason alone. So.
Okay, looking at 6 episodes. Okay, and they're releasing every week. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's comes out next week, innit? So we'll watch that.
Cool.
All right, wicked. Yeah, all right, well, people, it's been the Fully Geek Pod. There's
short and sweet. It's not, all right, guys. It's not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours. You know what I mean? Short and sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight.
Watch on your commute to work. That's it. Get there in time. Like
everyone's working from home now. But yeah.
Apart from me.
Oh yeah.
I'm out here. You get me? But people, share, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Get in the comments. Tell Richard about himself. Ask Marlon what he's doing with his life. All of that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, people. In a bit.
All right, man. Peace.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.